Hey, it's good to have you back on here. How you doing
Absolutely,
today?
man. How you doing?
Doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm pretty excited for 2025, man. The way I see it, man, it's gonna be a lovely year. How you feeling?
Oh, same way, same way. 2025 is going to be nuts. Tell me what you are seeing right now in 2025 in the e-commerce industry. What are you seeing with the people? How things are going? Let's talk futuristic.
Oh, absolutely, man. E-commerce is everything right now. All right. So everything is gonna be online, and if the percentage of online business is getting higher and higher, and the brick and mortar is going out of style. We know that ain't new. We see multiple big businesses closing down and all that good stuff. So right now, the plan is to take over all platforms, the Meta ads, Google ads, you know what I'm saying? TikTok ads, and then also leverage Instagram for influencing, and then you have email marketing. Like the range is so wide right now, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Wow, wow. So, as people are getting into it, what's a few key things in terms of, a popular question is like, how much money do I need to get started? What do people need to have really to get a good store going?
I mean, it all depends. It depends if they want to scale fast or if they want to grow at a slower pace. That will determine how much money they need, right? For example, Shopify only require an LLC. That the cost of that is 300. They require that once you hit like 20,000 in sales, right? So you don't even have to get that off the ground. But I would recommend that. But for people who doesn't have it, $500 to $600, you'll be able to get some samples, you'll be able to get a website up, and you'll be able to be up and running. For who want to scale real quick or fast, you need 2 to 3 thousand. So you'll be able to propel even faster.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad you brought that up. I got asked that question actually today about what's the difference between having an LLC to start your e-commerce versus just running it under your name personally. Can you expound a little bit about that? What are the pros? What are the cons on both scenarios? What's better? What should people be focused on?
Absolutely. So would you buy a house on a land that you don't own? Would you build a house on a land you don't own?
No, no, wouldn't.
Exactly. It's the same thing in business. You don't want to build a business on a name you don't own, right? So if
Mhm.
you have a C, you own that, right? And the cost that comes with that, you can have stuff, you'll be able to track stuff and all that good stuff, right? And get business address and all of it's not right. But when on the personal side, when you have everything in your name, it's like if you should go, not saying bankruptcy, but if something should go wrong, it's not gonna fall on the business, it's gonna come back on you. So it's good to differentiate from the beginning and get an LLC to minimize the liability on you and also to put down a business. Because the business is a different entity and you always want to separate them. So if in my advice, I would get the LLC. It's not required in the beginning, but this is just for the people to know the pros and the cons, what you're getting into before you even start.
Gotcha. And you mentioned liability. I mean, what kind of liability can people expect? I mean, when it comes to selling these products? And should they have insurance? Should they have things in place in order to keep them safe? What's your recommendation?
I mean, it could be anything, for example, somebody can lie and said, hey, this product harm them or something like that. You want to keep that in the business. What if you own a house? You want to make sure that is not being at risk or anything. This is pushing it to the edge. This is a bizarre scenario, but that's what I'm using. So it's kind of good to separate your personal life from the business. So all of the liability will be coming on the business. For example, the president himself filed for bankruptcy, 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy. It doesn't mean they're broke. It's just the business they file for bankruptcy. So you can separate the business and you still can live a good life over here as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. 2024 was a hard year for a lot of people, and the market took a dip in all industries. What do you anticipate, in the e-commerce industry for it to do this year and collectively altogether? I mean, we know that it's 6 years already ahead of its time because of the pandemic. Well, what do you think it'll do for 2025?
I think you probably do 1.5 times last year, right? Because it's growing at a rapid rate, right? So
Mhm.
anybody want to get in e-commerce, I'll tell them to start today. You should have been start yesterday, but since yesterday is gone, start today because the opportunity is endless. You can reach millions of people in with just one post. And remember, in 2025, you see Chat GPT competing with the China app DeepSeek with AI technology. So right now with AI technology, you can have that right script and all that stuff for you. So you'll be able to move more efficient in 2025 compared to 2024 because technology gone sky high between those just 1 year. It's a huge difference, and that cut down a lot of time on doing a lot of stuff.
Wow, wow, gotcha. And you're the owner and CEO of O7 Academy, right? Where can people come and find you?
They can find me on Instagram at kmakala07, that's O 07, or YouTube O 07 Academy. So they can find me there. I teach people how to start and grow a successful business. I have a blueprint that blueprint, I would say pain made that blueprint because I have to suffer a lot of losses. And then I finally figure out what works. And what I did was to put the steps that needed to be taken. So you don't have to go down the path that I go down to because not a lot of people gonna recover like I did. So as you can see, I got one product right here. I'm not gonna show what it is. But yeah, we represent e-commerce, we represent different type of brands, different type of supplements, skincare. Like it doesn't matter what it is. um we provide that service, and we also do service done for you, where we do everything for you, the entire business, and hand it over to you. And we also guarantee stuff that we do also, which we guarantee you a certain amount of money before we hand it over, and that's in contract. So nobody's doing this in the game. So that's where we leading to go. That's so sure we are of our results. So we even doing guarantees in some of the situations.
Wow, wow. Yeah, nobody's doing guarantees out here.
No,
So that
no,
is that is wow. So you guarantee that, hey, somebody comes and works with you, you guarantee to make them money.
absolutely. And it will be in contract, not just verbally.
Wow. No, that's incredible. And then in terms of as people are, recovering from 2024, what is your recommendation for those that may have little money or no money as far as starting?
I mean, there's several ways to go towards that, right? But to get to it real quick, what you can do is you can get samples, right? So you can get samples of products that probably cost you like $60, right? And when you get the samples, what that does is it eliminates a lot of the financial burden before you even understand that the concept works. Once you get the samples, that's like $60, then you can go on a website like Stick a Mule and get some label sample. That's another $10 for 15 label sample. And then with that sample coming over for the products, you can use the label on those products. And then you can go on a website they call Fiverr and get your mock-up and everything done. And within $300-400, and you're all set. That's for who doesn't have the money. But if you don't have the money, you gotta have the time though to set it up. And for who have the time, and for who don't have the time but have the money, it's a whole different situation.
Wow. Wow, you just gave so much sauce. I don't know if anybody caught that amount of sauce you gave there in the end, but you just basically laid out the print for starting a business.
Absolutely.
It was that easy.
That's simple. Very simple.
Wow. Wow. Well, it's so awesome to have you on this call. Thank you for taking time on it. If there is anything else as a last piece of advice for people that are watching now and watching later, what would it be?
Start today. If you see the video today, start today. And when I say start today, I mean like start doing something, start doing some research, like what product you want to sell, like what you want to do. Don't wait till tomorrow. There's never a perfect timing for anything. So I would say start today. One thing will lead to another, and by the time you know, you have a business.
Wow. So I mean, people should be DMing you now, essentially, like to try to get in the room, have a conversation with you to be able to move forward with the best possible situation.
Absolutely, they should have started DMing from yesterday. But since they didn't start yesterday, they can start today.
For sure.
I'll
For
welcome
sure.
them over.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you again for your time. We'll be in touch.
Absolutely, have a good one.
Okay. You too.